Oh, hey everybody! Welcome back to the No Cover TV podcast. Look who's next to me. Gio Giovanni is in the house. Oh yeah, look at Gio right there. We're gonna have a fabulous show because as I was talking to Gio before we hit the live button, he's a comedian. He's not necessarily a rock star and an artist like most of you out there that I interviewed. So this interview is gonna go a little differently today, I think, and I'm gonna have to label this a rated R because comedians I just can't control. I'm sorry. I have
No,
problems with my drummers and bass players, but comedians, it's a whole other ballpark. My God,
whole nother. Yeah.
whole other ballpark. So we're gonna talk to Gio in just a minute, but I want to thank each one of you out there for checking out the podcast, all the shows back in the day when it was a TV show for 16, 17 years, then radio, and now the podcast. You're not getting rid of Big Al. I'm gonna be a pain in your ass for a long time, and that yes, I will be. And now it's about getting the music and the comedians out around the world, their story, their music, and their acts, whatever they do. It's about them, and it's about getting it out there and doing the right thing for them. And I've been down that road, did what I did, and now I'm at where I'm at, and I'm loving every minute of it. And promoting these artists are the most wonderful thing that means to me in my heart and to you out there and to get it to you. So thank you. There's some people I got to thank, and yeah, I forgot my list, so hopefully my memory's okay. So let's try it out. Sandra, you're out there from De La Parra Productions. How you doing, Sandra? I want to thank you a lot. And I want to thank all these people that I'm going to thank for sending me their artists their way. I want to thank Kaipo Entertainment. I want to thank Andrea Hall Music. I want to thank Oz, you're out there from International. And I want to thank, who else we got out there? Oh, Curtain Call Music. That's right,
That's it.
man.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Curtain Call, Brian. How you doing out there? Yeah, Curtain
Yeah.
Call. Yeah, Gio knows about Curtain Call. I'll have to talk about them a little bit. But there's a lot of you out there, and I wish I had my list in front of me, but I'm not going to dig through everything. I got a big mess in front of me, so and that's not going to work. But thank you from the bottom of my heart. And email me. That's down below. Scroll on the email address. There's a lot of you I got to get back to. I'm not ignoring you. I promise you, I'm not ignoring you. But there are a lot of you that want to come on the show, and we are booking out quite far, and you're keeping me very busy and on my toes. And with the time change, it's a little different doing this in the early morning than in the night or the afternoon. So bear with me, okay? So if my head hits the table, that means I fell asleep and took a nap for a minute. So just wake me up or something. Just slap me around. All right, before we get started, what's my three favorite words, people? Is down below scrolling right there. Yes, that's right. That's what it says. Support, support, support. Support these artists. Go to their shows, pay a cover charge if there is one. Then get to their swag table, buy it all. Get the duffel bag, get the CD, the albums, get the gear, the hoodies, the t-shirts, the coffee mug, bumper stickers, keychains. It goes down and on. Just buy it all, put it all in the bag, then get out to that floor and enjoy that show. See if you stick around and meet these wonderful artists. Get an autograph because in my book, they're all going straight to the top. Remember, these artists right next to me, they do what they do to put a smile on your face, and your smile kicks right back to them, puts a big old shitty grin on their face, doesn't it, Gio?
It sure does. It sure does.
It's a wonderful. So in the house, Gio Giovanni is in the house. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. How about you?
Doing really well, my friend. So this is going to be an interesting show. You are a comedian, stand-up comedian.
That is correct.
Okay.
They,
Now, why
they,
can I ask you this question? Why do they call it stand-up? Does anybody sit down?
I have no idea. I guess if you're in a wheelchair, you're a sit-down comedian.
Yeah,
You're
who's going to
right.
get picked on more? The guy in the wheelchair or the people in the audience? I shouldn't say that. I didn't mean don't threaten the death threats to me, okay? I didn't do
Yeah. As
nothing.
John, as Daniel Tosh says, turn them around. I don't need to look at them anyway.
Yeah, turn them around. I told you people were going to lose the show. We already have. So we've got quite a bit to talk about, and probably not enough to talk about. And this is your show, so it could go any way possibly. Oh my goodness! So there's some things that now you've been in the business quite some time. Yes, you
Yeah.
have. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've
I've
been
been
doing this for
professional since 2009.
2000. Oh, so it's been yes a while. Yes, it wasn't just
Yep.
yesterday. Not
Yep.
just
No.
yesterday. Okay. Well, all right. Well, let's start before 2009. Let me get in that head of yours and let me find some things out. Can I do that, Gio?
Sure. Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's bring you back to when you were a young man, young kid back there. It sounds like you might be a little bit of a scrap or a pain in the ass like I was back when you were young. Am I correct?
Me? No,
Yeah.
no.
No, not Gio. No,
Yeah,
you per.
I was voted class clown in high school, and I come home all excited. My mom was like, "That's nothing to be proud of," and I was
There's
like,
nothing to be proud
"Bullshit!
of.
You don't know the clowns I go to school with, you know."
Right. And I got voted number one. Hey,
Yeah, and I'm the
there.
biggest clown.
The biggest clown. So
And
mom
then
giving it.
I ended up in 2010. I ended up getting on to Last Comic Standing on NBC, and my mom's phone just went off the hook with all the relatives calling, and
Oh,
I said,
true.
"So, nothing to be
Ooh.
proud of, huh? All right,
Yeah, you kind of shoved that right in her face, didn't you?
that's right, yeah,
Yeah, I did it a whole different way with the music. Everything she hated, I played, so that was
that's
great.
that's it, right?"
Right on, man. So, okay. So let's go back to around 8, 9, maybe 10 years old. When did comedy become a part of your life? Now, back then we had the greatest. I want to say the greatest comedians of all times back then, from Jerry Lewis to Dean Martin, from Carol Burnett, Rodney Dangerfield. List goes on and on. Was there somebody you were watching on TV that mom and dad or grandma and grandpa might have been watching?
The Steve Martin.
Steve Martin. There you
Steve
go.
Martin. A lot of people know him as a movie star and things like that, but back in the day, all he did was stand up comedy, and
Yeah.
he was, he came from Saturday Night Live, and
Yeah, the SNL crew. Yeah.
that's when I first saw him, and in sixth grade, I tried to do a magic show with like the little kids magic set,
Right on.
and nobody's paying attention because they
Nobody's
can't see
paying
what I'm
attention.
doing. So I started making fun of myself, and they all started laughing. And I said, "Yes, this is what I want to do.
I want to
I
make
want to
them
make
laugh.
people laugh." Yes, absolutely. And that was
There
in
you
sixth
go.
grade.
That was in sixth grade. So you making them laugh was a lot better than trying to get their interest in what you were doing.
Right,
Right. Okay. Now, so that was what grade was that?
sixth grade.
Sixth grade. Okay, so now that felt good at sixth grade, but when did it kind of really hit home, and then you started to maybe quite do this more often with your friends or when you're hanging out somewhere? What were you kind of the walk around comedian all the time, smart ass?
I
What's
was
up?
always the smart ass. Had no filter, no
No
filter
filter.
whatsoever. It went from here,
It was
you know,
gone.
and once it's gone, you can't take it back.
No, I'm kind of the same way. My filter has definitely changed quite a bit since I've changed where I live, so I've got to be a little careful
Oh
now
yeah,
what I say. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but it's hard. Yes, I have that hard filter too, comedians, you all think a little differently. There's a lot of comedian types, I would say, out there. Like there's music from rock to country to rap to R&B to this and that, and I would
Absolutely.
say the same with comedy too. You have your raw, you kind of have your dry, your physical, like Gail Illinger and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you had all different types to choose from. Did you just stick with the sarcasm? What worked for you?
Um, because I had no filter, what worked for me was the blue comedy.
The blue, okay.
I liked pushing that envelope to a point where when I was in college, I had a teacher tell me that I didn't I didn't cross the line. I pole vaulted over the line
You
when
went
I
way past. He just
way
blew it
past,
away.
like I couldn't even see that behind me. That's how much over the line I would go. But and it wasn't for shock value because what I was saying was what everybody else was thinking. I'm the only one that had the balls to say it.
There you go. Right, right. Yeah.
You
And I
know,
don't understand why people don't have the balls to say what's on their mind sometimes. I don't know if it's fear of rejection or, I really don't care what anybody thinks about me, not personally, but,
either do I.
but I guess a lot of people, take that as criticism or however you want to put it. But
Right.
I feel that the more I'm hated, the better off I am.
You know, David Lee Roth once said, I don't care if they're talking good about me or talking bad about me as long as they're talking about me.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter if it's
That's
good or
all I care about.
bad. And boy, we did talk about him a lot back then, those days.
Oh my
Wow.
God, you see?
Oh my goodness.
And
So,
seeing what the big subject today, kind of what going into the point of what you were just saying is censorship. You know,
mm,
like Jimmy Kimmel, prime example. He
Prime example.
exercised his First Amendment rights,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he was punished for that.
He was punished. I never thought I'd see this day come myself personally, my friend.
No, and it's a very, and even Jimmy Kimmel said himself, and he said, you know, when they start to try and censor the public, the first people they come after are the comedians, because we are the ones who kind of hold a mirror up to society and make you look at things in a different way.
Right. You're very, like you said, in the face, truthful, honest,
Right.
and don't give a shit what people think. Definitely, and I'm kind of the same way. And I'm surprised, I haven't been pulled off the air yet for what I've done and said. And I'm going to keep doing what I do because it is our First Amendment to be able to say what we want to say. I don't agree with hate speech or anything like that, and that
No.
shouldn't be done or anything like that or acts of violence. But we should be able to say what we'd like to say, whether you like it or not, as long as it's in a decent manner. I would
Right.
say
And
respectful.
according to, I'm just going to read this. Iowa State University said the First Amendment is, in quotes, the right to articulate opinions and ideas without interference, retaliation, or punishment from the government, period. End of discussion.
Period. There we
But
go.
it goes on to say what's not covered, which I agree with, is obscenities, defamation,
Yes,
incitement,
I agree.
threats, that type of
Threats.
thing. And that is not freedom of speech. That is
That's
completely
hate.
different.
That's a whole different ballpark,
Yep.
and it could be a whole show on that. So we won't talk politics or religions on this show. We
Oh, no,
might.
no, no.
Yeah. So you got a priest and a nun, and never mind, not going down that road. We could get away with that in the 80s and the 70s, but not now. Unbelievable.
Well, see,
So
you haven't been pulled off the air yet, but tonight's young. So
I just might get the letter in the
you
mail,
just might
right?
get that letter.
Here it goes. Damn, going to jail now. That's
Oh,
what. Okay, so now you're out in the Rocky Mountain area, out in Denver, Colorado,
yep,
or
I'm
whatever.
out in
You're out.
Denver, Colorado.
Oh, okay. So
Yep, and next week I'll be in Vegas all week long. So if anybody's out there,
Vegas.
come check me out.
Nice, brother. Nice. So now, didn't you now? Okay, let's still stay in the teen years. You're being a smartass. You're making people laugh and stuff like that. But 18 hits, life hits. We got to do something with our life. We got to go to work, get a job, start a family, do something. Now, it looks like you went to college. Was up in New York there, in
And NYU, I attended NYU.
NYU.
Yeah,
Okay, what did we study?
I was at Tisch and I studied film and television.
Film and television. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, did you pursue that at all and do the comedy on the side, or were you just focused on going comedy, or what? Because I know 2009 you said is when you pretty much started up the comedy stuff.
Yep. No, I pursued. I have a production company that I own as
Hey,
well, and
nice,
I
brother.
do reality TV and things like that.
Hey,
And I
whoa,
actually integrated my life into a reality show. It's called Comic Mafia,
comic
and
mafia.
it's
There
about me and five of my friends who are all bikers, but we're all stand-up comedians.
we
And
go.
so the show follows us from stage to stage, what it's like to be a comic biker.
That would be pretty cool. That's going to be real cool. Now,
Yeah,
are you in post production, or what's going on with that right now?
we're right now right on the cusp of going from pre-production into production.
Okay, all right, nice. That's going to be wonderful to do that. Ride around from club to venue, checking everybody else's act, 5 different acts. Awesome.
Right.
Can we name? Do you have a permanent list? Can we name the other acts that are going to join
Uh,
you?
One of them is a very good friend of mine. His name's Ron Ferguson.
Okay, Ron
He
Ferguson.
has a website, bikercomic.com. He is
Okay.
amazing. He's hilarious. I suggest you go check him out.
All right.
We have another guy named Bobby Rose, and one of the other guys I can't say yet,
Okay.
but you've seen them on TV and you know who they are.
Hey, all right. I like
Even
that.
a good friend of mine has agreed to do a cameo, and it's Dee Snyder from Twisted Sister.
D. Snyder's going to jump aboard and do a
Yep,
cameo. That
yep.
nice.
He
All
rides and he's going to
right.
do a cameo. He's all excited about it.
That's be cool. Have Dina riding next to you doing a cameo.
Right? Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah. He's a crazy MF. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. I could just hang out with you boys all day long.
Oh yeah.
That's great. Okay, so when was what? Well, you started 2009, but when was the first time you really hit the stage and told some jokes? Was it like just a dare, or did you set it up? How did this go about?
I was actually way back in when I was 21. There was a club here in Denver called George McKelvey's Comedy Club,
All right.
and on a dare, I went and did open mic,
I
and
dared to do open mic.
I did very well, and that was kind of the start of it. And then when I was doing it kind of half-assed on the side while I was working a regular job,
Sure.
and then in 2009, when the economy dropped out, I got laid off of my job, and everybody said, "Hey, Gio, you think you can do it as a pro? Now you've got nothing holding you back. Hit the
Right.
road."
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah. So I took my 401k, what there was of it, my savings.
Right.
I threw a bag in the back of my Honda Element, hit the road, and I think the first year I did close to about 6,500 miles driving, all over the country, any place that would give me 2 minutes of
Wow.
time on a stage.
Really
Yeah,
incredible, brother. Wow.
yeah.
So, what is the time length of being new on the stage? I'm sure is shorter than being a regular. What's their time frame putting you on the stage? 3 minutes, five
Two to
minutes,
2 to 3 minutes.
2 to 3 minutes. Okay.
Yep.
So now where you're at now, do you get at least 15 to 20?
Oh, I headline. I
You
do
headline.
hour.
Now you're doing hours.
Yeah, I can do it. I
Oh,
can do an hour standing on my head.
oh, this is great. So you got a million jokes under your belt, don't you, brother?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
That's
I do everything from relationships to to politics to current events, so you name it. If it's
oh
relevant,
man.
I'm doing it.
You're doing it. That's
Yep,
great.
absolutely.
Before we get any farther, brother, tell everybody out podcast land where they can find you and where you're about, where you're going to be out, doing your act.
Well, you can find me with all my tour dates and everything on my website, which is officialgeo.com. That's JIO. So officialgeo.com, you can see videos, you can see pictures from the road. I did Red Rocks. I got to do Red Rocks a few
That's a
times.
great place, Red Rocks. Oh yeah.
Oh, to go from
Wow.
seeing your idols on stage to being on stage is surreal. It
Yeah.
was just incredible. But you can come check me out in Vegas. I'll be at Rick's Roll and Smoke, which is on the Strip,
Sweet.
um, and that'll be a Wednesday night next week, eight
Okay.
o'clock showtime. So you can come check me out there. Other than that, my podcast, Inappropriate Truth, is starting up. We should get that going probably in November.
I want to hear
Um,
this.
and then also you can go to Curtain Call Records. I am a signed artist on
There
Curtain
you
Call
are.
Records,
Yes, you are, brother.
and
Thank
you'll
you,
be
Kurt
hearing
Call.
me. You'll be hearing me on Rock Rage Radio. We're
Nice
doing
rock
some
rage.
we're doing some really great stuff. Yeah, I'm sure you're a fan of Rock Rage.
Oh
They
yeah.
they
Oh
support
definitely,
all the
man.
unsigned and the great up and coming bands, which is
Yep.
amazing. And I'm their
Definitely.
first comedian, which is
Eh,
awesome.
that's great, brother. I mean,
Yeah,
you got to get it out everywhere. And what's cool now is we got all these platforms with this little damn, whatever we want to call it, in front of us, computer PC, where we didn't have this, 30, 40, 50 years ago, even longer
no,
than that. I mean, we had to hoof it back then, putting the signs up on the phone pole and passing
yep.
out cassettes and CDs if there were those back then. You remember those days?
Oh yeah.
Did you kind of miss those days of huffing it
I
and
I do. I miss cutting out things and making my own
right,
flyer,
right
to
on.
go hand out to do shows and stuff. I do miss those days.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's more personal. You
It-
got to interact with people.
you did.
Um, and I think it took more talent doing it that way too, because you had to prove yourself.
You did.
You
Oh
know,
yeah. Oh
you couldn't
yeah.
edit a video down and put it online to where everybody thought you were hilarious from
No,
opening to closing.
no.
You had to
Yeah.
you had to bring the talent.
Yeah, there was no edit switch back then,
No,
not at all, and that's why
no,
we
it
didn't
was
show.
it was there was no auto tune and there was
No,
no editing. It was all real and all talent.
right. The worst you got was either the curtain dropped or somebody threw a bottle at you. One of the
Yeah,
two.
yeah,
Right
yeah.
on, man. That's great. Now, with your jokes and stuff, are you doing anything like putting a bunch of them down, like 12 to 20 of them on an EP and getting them out there to people? Or how can people access your
You
jokes,
can
your
go
stuff?
on all the music platforms, Apple, iTunes, SoundCloud, all that. And I have 2 albums out.
Okay.
My first album is called Are You High, Dude? That's the first one.
Yeah, I
The
am.
second
No.
one is called Inappropriate Genius, is the second one.
Ooh.
I also have my very own Pandora station.
Oh, nice,
If
brother.
you search for that, you can go to Pandora and you can listen to me all day long if you want
All
to.
day long, listen to you to Geo all day long.
That's
Oh,
right.
damn. Let Geo corrupt your head. Holy shit.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
That's going to be great. Now, you seem quite busy. You look like you're in a hotel room there. And are you, how many times a week you out there on the stage?
I try and get out as much as I can.
Yeah,
I had some family issues, so I took a couple of weeks off. But
sure.
starting next week, I'm back at it. Usually 3 to 4 days a week, I'm out there.
Oh man, that's nice. Now, is it hard to get into venues? I mean, I'm sure you're not going to all just strictly comedian venues, comic venues. I'm sure you're just going to some regular venues and
Right.
going out and doing stuff like that. Okay. Now, this is a fun one because, being in entertainment and the music business, you might do like I do when I go out on the stage. Yes, I eye the crowd. I see kind of who's who, kind of feel out who's who, and I can somewhat have that instinct of knowing who's going to be the dickhead, who's going to be the prick, who's the good person, this or that. Do you do that all once you hit the stage?
All the time.
All the time, he says.
And that's what people need to know is when you're at a comedy show, whoever's headlining is watching the crowd while the other
Right.
comedians are doing their thing.
So you know who to go
So if you're
after.
a troublemaker, we're coming after you.
I know it. That's why I sit way in the back, way in the back, and I keep my head covered because you always pick up bald guys, and that ain't right, man. So let me ask you this: do you have a certain level? Do the clubs or venues or wherever you perform have a certain like PG rated R kind of rating they want you to perform?
No, and if they
No.
they're all club venues,
Okay, so they're
so it's
over 18.
basically anything goes. It's 18 up or 21 and up, so anything goes.
No
The
shit.
people that are coming know they're coming to see a club comedian. And I won't. I actually had because I did some political jokes. I actually had a couple of clubs tell me I couldn't do those jokes when I came to their club, so I don't go to their
Oh,
club.
there you go. Yeah, don't support them. Screw them. Kiss
No,
my ass.
when
No.
you start censoring the artist, like Dave Chappelle said, the more you tell me not to say something,
The
the more
more
important
it's
it
gonna come
becomes that
out.
I need to say it.
Exactly. I agree with you, brother. I agree. So pretty much it's no holds barred when you're on that stage. Now, uh, there's probably a few favorites, but give me a couple favorite people you like to pick on.
I don't pick on people unless they open their
My
mouth,
ass.
you
Unless they
know.
open their mouth. They're all
Yeah.
opening their mouth. What
Well, if they start thinking they're part of the act, I'm kind of like, when I wrote this, I didn't include that
did
part of
include
it. That
you.
wasn't part of the show. And I'll usually give them 1 or 2 chances, and then if they continue, it's like, here's my set list.
Here we go.
You
Let's
just became the show.
You
Let's
just
do
became
this.
the show. Let's bring you into this. Let's see how you handle it. Because
Yeah.
you can't come up against a professional comedian. You just don't try. Don't try,
No,
people. Just shut the fuck up, okay, and sit back and
exactly.
enjoy the show. Oh
Come
my
in,
god!
sit down, laugh your ass off, and
Right.
shut the hell up.
Shut the hell up. Exactly. Now, have you ever? And I'm sure in your years, because this has happened during shows I've done, put the boot to somebody's ass.
Oh, yeah. I've had to
Yeah.
throw people out or have them removed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There's
absolutely.
always some idiot in the crowd that thinks they know more or can do better. Yeah.
Well, there was one because of one of the jokes I told, they started saying I was a racist.
Mm.
And I tried explaining, I'm like, did you even listen to the joke? I'm
You're
like,
right.
I didn't say it. BP said that, but they just
Okay.
kept going. And finally I said, I'll remember this till the day I die. I said, can I ask you a question? Because there was 3 of them.
Right.
And I said, you look like the smart one, the leader. I said, let me ask you a question. I said, what's the smallest muscle in the sheep's ass?
Oh.
And I was like, it's your dick. Now
You're
shut the
now
hell up. and then security grabbed him and threw him out, and the
Threw him
crowd
out.
started going crazy.
He didn't forget that one anytime soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, right.
That's great. Now there's like I said, was so many great comedians back in our day and stuff, and I'm sure you grabbed on to quite a few of them and loved them and stuff like that, as I did. But let me have some fun with you for a second. I want to mention three comedians, and they might be all your favorite, but throw me one name out of these three that you think you might, I guess, like the most. I guess. All right, you want to do this? You ready?
Sure,
All
sure.
right. Well, let's start out Eddie Murphy,
Okay,
George Carlin,
okay.
or the man himself, the Dice Man.
George Carlin all the way,
George Carlin. There you go, brother.
all the way.
Oh yeah, seven deadliest words.
Yeah, because he was not only was he political, but the way he talked and made you laugh, he also made you
Oh,
think.
yeah, yeah.
He
Exactly.
had some real, cerebral type humor that you had to think about for a second to get.
To get it exactly, and that's kind of
Yeah,
why even like Steve Martin and Martin Short and some of those SNL actors, Dan Aykroyd and people like that, very great comedians, but also make you think a little bit too during their acts, definitely.
yep. And
And
that's why I love my favorite of all time right now is Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle, right? He's great, man, and
Not
it's
only is he funny, but the way he makes you think about what he's talking about when he tells stories.
true,
You
very
know,
true, true. And I don't like how they censored him, and put him down, like they did, what was it, a few years ago or something like that.
yeah,
They kind of held him back and stuff like that. I was listening to, I like Cat Williams, and but then I went and saw his concert, and then I was very disappointed. So now I don't know how I feel.
yeah,
So yeah, but yeah, to each their own. I guess there's a lot of great comedians out there. Some you gotta love, some you gotta hate. I'm sure.
yeah. And I'm not going to mention their names, but there's some that I don't like, um, but yet they're selling out Red Rocks. So they got to have some talent because they're
If they're
selling
doing
out Red
that,
Rocks.
yeah, if you're
You
selling
know,
out Red Rocks, you're doing something right. Yeah,
right? It's just
definitely.
their humor is not my cup of tea. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean
Right.
they don't have talent. It's kind of like with the music scene. You may say so and so is the best band ever, and I may think they suck.
Right. Oh yeah, I get that all the time. Yeah.
Does it
You
does it mean that they don't have any talent? No, not at all.
no, not at all. It's just
It's
their
just a
way.
matter of personal opinion.
It's just their way. Now, did you like kind of like the how do I want to describe it back in the day? Oh, slapstick. Back in the early day, the old slapstick, Laurel and Hardy type stuff. Do you like that kind of stuff?
Oh,
The Three Stooges stuff?
that was Three Stooges and Abbott and Costello.
Alabama Costello,
I
yes.
grew up on them as a small child. I grew up on watching them on TV, and I thought they were the funniest thing going.
So what'd you think of like Don Rickles and Ruth Bruzzy?
Don Rickles, I wish I would have gotten to see him before he passed away.
Yeah, brother.
He, as far as passive aggressive comedy, he was the master.
He
He was the
was,
master.
dude.
You
He
know,
was so.
he would zing you, and then he'd go, I'm just kidding. I'm just, but seriously, boom, and then he'd get you again.
He'd lay you out. And that's like Rodney Dangerfield. The same. I love
Yeah,
him. Oh yeah. No, it's like no respect.
yeah.
Gotta
I get
love
no respect.
Got real respect. No respect. Yeah, I gotta love Rodney
But
Dangerfield. That's great.
we've got some really good comics
Yeah, we do.
working today. Like we got Anthony Jeselnik, which is he's hysterical. Bill Burr, I think, is one of the hardest working comedians out there right now.
Sure.
He's
Sure.
everywhere,
Okay.
and they're all original. They all have their own style.
Style. There you go.
You
Okay.
know,
Right on. And now so you mentioned style, and now back in the day there was Gallagher smashing up the hell out of everything. Then Carrot Top came along, and now you got Jeff Dunham doing this stuff. Do you like that type of comedy, or are you kind of shy away from that?
I shy away from that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because anybody can destroy anything, I
yeah.
guess.
And God bless them. They made a career out of doing what they're
Yeah,
doing.
they did.
But to me, that's the low hanging fruit. You know, I like to
You
do a little bit more
Bring it up to the top. There you go.
some
Understand.
highbrow comedy, if you will.
Right. Now, when you do your show, are you walking out in spandex, or you got your thigh high? What's going on, brother? What are you wearing out
They
there on this stage?
I go commando.
Commando. There you go,
No,
brother.
um, they call me comedy's rock star because I come out with the black heavy biker jacket,
Nice.
usually my black jeans and some biker boots. But I have this metallic scarf that I wear that
Metallic
offsets
scarf.
everything. Yeah. So they tell me I dress like I wear the big jewelry, like the
There you
rock
go, my
stars do.
friend. Gotta have that. I got mine. Definitely gotta have that.
So
You gotta
yeah,
be the
so
part, man.
absolutely,
You gotta wipe that sweat off and hand it to the girls and tease them with it and bring it back. Oh yeah,
well,
definitely.
yeah,
Maybe.
Anthony Jeselnik said it best. He said, so after the show, I was taking pictures and signing tits.
Sign of tips. You know
You
how it
know.
is.
I'm like, no, I don't know how that is. I'd like to.
Could you show me how that works?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I'm
funny.
doing it wrong, apparently.
Right, yeah, something you're not telling me, brother.
Yeah,
Right? I want my contract revised.
that's
Oh
it.
man, exactly. Now, what's your usual show size, people wise? What do we do? A couple hundred at some of these
Average about
venues?
250.
About 250. And what's the
Yeah.
largest you've done before?
The largest I've ever done is 16,000.
16,000 people.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
That was one of my early shows. I was part of a big deal for the Armed Forces Entertainment,
Excellent.
and I support the troops 110%. I don't
Same
care
here.
what your view on the war is.
Right.
That's neither here nor there.
That's
They
right.
have stepped up to protect us and protect my First Amendment right to do what I
That's
do.
right. Exactly,
So the
brother.
least I can do is give back. And then I,
Yes.
I was lucky enough to do 3 nights at Red Rocks over a period of 3 years, and that was 10,000 per show. I've got some really cool pictures on my website of
Wow,
that.
man. Well, okay, let's go back to Red Rocks because I remember Red Rocks. And it was a great place, great, yeah, great, just great. Couldn't talk anymore about it. But let's bring you back to Red Rocks. 10,000 people. All right, you hit that stage, buddy. It's time to pick up that microphone, and you're looking at 10,000 fucking people out there waiting for you to open your mouth on that microphone to hear that first word of what you're gonna say. And you open your mouth, and everybody goes, "Holy shit!" They're moving. They're moving towards you. They're going, "Hell yeah! I'm taking this dude alive, man. This is some good
Yeah.
shit." So when you see that, my brother, how does that make your heart feel when you see all these people loving you?
Uh, it it I can't even express it. It's surreal. It's like I'm making these people laugh with jokes I wrote sitting in my underwear in a hotel room, you know,
Right on.
and it gives me a sense of validation.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, I'm good at what I do, because sometimes you have a bad show,
you
and
do.
any comedian that says they've never bombed on stage is lying to you.
Very much. Very
I've walked
much.
off stage before going, the hell with this. I'm
I
never doing this
quit and I do
again. I quit. Fuck this career. This is bullshit. And then the
Hey,
next night I have a great show and I'm like, I love this job. I love
right,
this.
right. That's great, man. Now, have you done any shows per se that were so bad that you had to have perform behind chicken wire or anything like that?
No, but I did.
Yeah.
I was at a venue in New York City and I got attacked coming off stage.
Oh, come on, off stage, really? Why?
Yeah, as I came off stage, I couldn't see because the light had been in my eyes, and I'm
Sure,
going
sure,
into the
right.
darkness,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, just bam, up against the wall, dislocated my shoulder.
Holy mother.
They really did some damage to me, and
Son
by
of a
the
bitch.
time they realized what was going on, the security guys had already thrown him out,
Okay.
and they wanted to press charges. But it's New York City. You go out on the street, you're a ghost. You're gone.
Yeah, yeah, that's very, very
So I
true.
have had that happen to me.
Wow, that
And I
sucks.
have
Yeah.
had some bad shows, but you get contracted, you have to do 45 minutes if you're a headliner, 30 if you're a feature.
Right,
And
right,
if it's
yeah.
not going well, that is the longest 30 minutes of your
Right, that's like the
life.
pin drop in the air, the yeah, the needle in a
Yeah.
haystack. Find that fucker.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
Exactly right.
that's hard, man. It's not so bad when us musicians mess up, but I think like a comedian, you kind of have a bad night or don't remember things. It could go really wrong. I could see that happening quick.
Yeah.
Oh
And I
man,
used to drink before I went on stage,
oh, that's great.
have a couple cocktails
How'd that
before I
work
go on
for you?
stage. Well, the last time I did that, because I'm sober now, I've been sober 11 years, but
Bless your heart, brother.
the last time I did that, I was in the middle of my set. I had, I think, four Guinness and a couple of shots of Jameson.
Okay, that's
And
enough.
I got about halfway through my set and I was like, and I couldn't remember
Oh,
my next joke. And
I'll be back.
I stood there for what I thought was like 5 minutes, but it turns out to be like 20 seconds. And I was just like, see ya. And I walked off stage.
Show's over. See, I gotta
Yeah.
go. Gotta go
And
real bad.
I didn't get invited back to that club for about 2 years.
Yeah, wonder why. Damn, Gio. That's funny. Okay, now answer me this. This has had to happen because obviously some of these things have happened. We've already talked about it. But throughout all of your years, and I'll let you have a couple answers on this one, as many as you want, actually. Tell us any the most embarrassing moments on stage.
Oh God.
This is great. I gotta hear this.
I gotta think about that one. Let's come back to that. Let me think
We'll
about
come
that.
back.
For a second.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll think about. We'll come back to that one. Okay, let's go to another question then. Okay, I'm gonna let you have two answers on this question right here, and I want you to think around the world. Okay, a little bit on this one. Two questions. You get two answers on this question here. Anywhere around the world, what stage do you want to jump on and perform? Any two in the world.
Number one, Red Rocks.
Red Rock's number one. All right.
Red Rocks is number one. That is an amazing stage. And number
Sure.
two, probably my second favorite club that I love in the world is Broadway Comedy Club, New York City.
Broadway Comedy Club. Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
just
Nice.
the crowd there is so into it, and they're just there to laugh and have a good time. And I've never had a bad show at that venue.
Right. Now, have you ever been to the comedy club in LA, Pauly Shore's mom's place?
I have not been there. I mean, I've been there to shows, but I've not performed there.
Not performed there. Is
No.
this still it's still going strong, isn't it? I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
sure. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's what I
yeah.
thought. Okay. Okay. I don't know if Paulie's got anything to do with that or not. I don't remember. I don't keep up with him too much anymore. So, but things have definitely changed. Now, this we'll come back to that one answer. I still want you to think about some of those embarrassing moments. But let's go to this question here. You get two answers on this, and these are people. All right. Now, you get a person to pick that's alive and a person that has passed away. Give me two comedians, any comedian in the world you would have loved to perform with.
Hmm. Alive is Dave Chappelle,
Dave Chappelle.
100%.
All right,
Yeah,
brother. Yeah.
and probably someone that has passed. I would have to say George Carlin.
George Carlin. Yeah.
Yeah,
What a
and
what
I've
yeah.
had the blessing of performing with some of my heroes that I used to watch when I was
Wow.
coming up, and I got to share a stage with those people, and some of them have
Oh,
become my friends. Which
beautiful.
is amazing. You
That
know,
is when you can grow up with the people you idolize and then work with them is something
yeah,
different. That's and become friends.
yeah.
That's amazing to
Tom
say that.
Rhodes was one of them. I don't know if you're familiar with Tom Rhodes.
I remember that name. Yes.
And then also Ralphie May, who passed away a few years ago. But I would email him asking for chances to open for him, and he would always look at the videos I included, and he would
Okay.
send me emails back saying, "Hey man, you're on the right path. You're doing great. I think you're funny." And then one day in Vegas, I got to share a stage with him, and it was
Oh man,
unbelievable. It was a
straight to the
dream
heart
come
there.
true.
Oh yeah, brother, definitely.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Now you're with Curtain Call Records there. How long you been hanging with them?
It's going on 9 months,
Nine
almost 10,
months.
10 months, 10 months.
10 months, and they're hard workers. I love the hell
Oh
out of
man,
them. They are
absolutely.
definitely, and Brian sends me so many emails I can't keep up with them all.
Oh yeah, between Brian Yeah, and John, the two of them are
Yeah,
just they're
and
working their ass off,
I,
and
what's her
I mean,
name? The owner of the V. I can't think of her name offhand.
oh, Gigi,
Yeah, I talk to her too
yeah,
sometimes.
she's a great lady.
They're all wonderful people, and it's a blessing to have people like that out there to help artists like yourself and other artists. Definitely, it's nice to have a great support system behind you.
Absolutely. And we're
Absolutely.
expanding. It's funny you say that. I just had a call with John this past Tuesday at the label, and we have Rock Rage Radio, we have Country Rage Radio, we have all these different
Right
stations.
on.
We are now going to be doing a Comedy Rage Radio
Ooh,
starting next year, and I'm the one
love
that's in
it.
charge of putting all that
That's
together and
cool.
getting all the clips. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That would be a lot of fun, and you're in that business because you went to school for it, so you know everything about it. Just kind of like me in the TV business, had to do it all, so you learn it all.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely right.
And how I remember most of it, I don't get, but I remember it still. And so, I want to ask this question. It's got to do with comedy, but is there one individual I would say out there that you'd really like to go up to and lay out?
Yeah.
Can we name a name? A
Uh, I
few?
I probably shouldn't, but
Spell it.
I will say this: he plays with dolls and puppets. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, I know who. Okay, now we're okay. Did I mention that name before
Yes,
accidentally?
yes, you
Yes,
did.
I did. Okay, okay. Have you got a chance to meet him or work up close by him?
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
an incident at Budweiser Event Center with him several years ago. The other one is, and I'll name her name because it's public. Natasha Leggero.
I never heard of her, and I guess there's a
She
reason.
was on the TV. She was on the TV show Reno 911,
Oh, her. Okay, gotcha.
and
Okay.
she was one of the judges on Last Comic Standing when I made it onto Last Comic Standing in 2010. And Greg Giraldo loved me. He loved me to death, and I was happy to share a stage with him. Um, who was it? It was Greg Giraldo, Natasha Leggero, and Andy Kindler. And Andy
Okay.
Kindler loved me. They loved my style. They said back then, that was 2010. They said I was probably one of the best writers they had heard at that stage of my career, which I
Wow,
took to heart.
yeah, definitely, brother.
And Natasha didn't like my clothes, didn't like my stage presence, didn't like
Who
my.
the
I mean,
fuck
she
is
shredded me.
who the fuck is she to talk? What
Well,
the hell?
exactly.
All
And
right,
so,
yeah.
and so I looked at her and I said, and this is on tape. They got it on tape because they were filming. I looked at her and I said, well, first of all, I've seen your stand up and I've seen you on Reno 911, and your opinion means less than nothing to me.
Right on.
You
Yeah,
know,
if you think you
and
made it,
it's been a very public. Everybody knows I can't stand her, and she doesn't like me either. So I don't really, I don't care.
yeah, if you think you're gonna make a career out of Reno 911, hey, got another thing coming.
Yeah,
That's
you
funny.
got that right.
That's a good one. I like that. I want to ask you, could you offhand slap me with a couple jokes, maybe a few?
Sure. As long as you don't mind this being your last episode ever.
Hit me hard. Go ahead. Lay me out.
Well, I do. My doctor told me I needed to start eating healthier, right?
Okay. Right.
So I became a vegetarian.
That ain't also bad, is it?
No, it's great. I'm eating healthy, except I won't go down on a trans woman because that's processed meat, and that's not good for you.
I didn't say it. I did. I sent a hate mail to him, not me. Gio said that. Jeez, oh Pete. Oh, let's hit me again, brother. Hit me again. Oh my God.
And then I talk about politics, and I don't get into politics, but I talk about them. And I said, it doesn't matter what you think of our political system right now. You have to admit we've come a long way in our political arena, because just a few presidents ago, we had our very first African American in the White House, right?
Right.
Granted, still a black man in government housing.
Not going there. Oh my God, I'm gonna die.
And then
Okay.
we had our very first same sex couple in the White House before that, the Clintons. I always wondered who wore the pants in that family, but I could realize Bill was never in his.
He was,
So,
he was always off.
yeah.
Okay, let's leave it at that. You want to see Gio's show? You go see Gio's show because he's gonna lay it out like it is. Oh
Uh,
my God! Oh, what did I do?
you asked for
Gio,
it, brother.
I
You
asked
got it.
for it. I did. I did. Yeah, I want to thank you, Gio, from the bottom of my heart coming on the podcast. It's a lot of fun, brother. We got to do this again soon.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Tell everybody again where they can find you and where you're going to be out at.
You can find me at officialjio.com. That's officialjio.com. And that's got all my tour dates on it. It's got videos, pictures. It's got a biography. You can learn all about me. And next week, if you're in Vegas, look for me. I will be at Rick's Rollin' Smoke,
There you go.
hanging out and slinging some jokes. So come on by and say hello,
Go see
and
Gio.
we'll have some fun. I guarantee it.
You definitely will have fun with Gio. Buy the guy a drink and yeah, see what happens after that. Woo,
Oh,
yeah. That's great. Okay, let's go back to that question. I watched some answers, embarrassing moments, my friend.
I remember one time I was performing on stage, and I can't remember what it said, but one of the comedians from behind the curtain, she held up a big sign about me while I was performing, and I had my back to it. And
Okay.
the audience is laughing their ass off.
Oh shit.
And I think they're laughing at me. And I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't got to the punchline yet.
Okay.
And then I turned around, I saw the sign, I was like, oh my God. And
Oh
I remember
no.
actually blushing and turning red on stage.
So what did the sign say or have on it?
I honestly don't remember. It said something about vegetarian, because that's one of my
Vegetarian.
big jokes. And so it said something about that.
Oh my God. It was probably a 6 foot pussy. I don't know.
I think it said something like that I was gay and wouldn't know what pussy tasted, something like that.
Well, talk to me backstage. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
oh God. I think we're getting a little offhand here, my friend.
Oh no, it's just getting started.
Just
Just
getting
getting
started.
good.
That's getting good, brother. We could hang, man. I hope you. Well, you're probably not coming where I am anytime soon. But when I get back to the States, I'm going to find your ass.
All right.
Definitely, man. Oh man, and I can't wait. When is this production supposed to start with the bikers?
We're going to go into production in November, and then hopefully it will be this spring, or the spring of 2026, that it'll be out on. We have a contract with Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, nice.
Yeah,
That's going to be a lot of fun, brother. You're going to have a lot
yeah.
of good times with that.
Looking
That's
forward to it.
definitely my friend. Now, do you usually do solo acts or do you join up with a few people per show?
It depends on because comedy's not like a band. They don't put two on tour together all the time. So
Right.
sometimes it's just me headlining, and I work with a local. Sometimes I get one of my buddies to go with me, and I'll go do like I just did 6 sold out shows in the Virgin Islands with Ron Ferguson.
There you
Um,
go. You can't beat that.
no,
Hey.
I just got back from dates in Mexico and Belize. I mean,
Wow.
so it's turned out that
It's
being a
turned
dirty minded, dirty mouthed bastard is paying the bills.
It's paying the bills just to be a rotten asshole, right?
That's right.
I gotta love it, man. You gotta teach me the tricks.
Oh, absolutely.
Gio, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Couple more questions before we get out of here, brother.
Sure.
Okay, well, you've been doing this so long, but let me ask you this: 5 years from now, where do you want to see yourself with the comedian act? Have you toured Europe at all? Have you done anything in Europe?
I have not done in Europe, and that's crazy because they have a magazine there called Integrity. It's an art magazine,
Sure.
and I've been featured full spreads. I've been featured in that magazine twice, and I've never been to Europe yet. So, and
You've
that's out of the
never.
UK. So I'd
Oh,
like to
okay.
tour Europe.
Yeah, I
I
can
would
see that
also, in
happening.
5 years, hopefully, I would like to see the Comic Mafia TV show turn into like a live Vegas show.
That'd be cool, brother. That'd be
Where we
real.
all ride up on the stage on our bikes and
Yeah,
each of
there
us
you
do
go.
our sets.
That'd be sweet. That'd be a hell of a show, man. And I can see that happening. Really can, my friend. The last question here. This is for the youngsters out there. You got any advice for those youngsters out there that want to do what me and you do?
Stay in school
Stay
and
in
don't
school.
and quit. Don't get into this.
Right, yeah. What are you, crazy? Yeah, right,
It,
right. Do something
unless you
else.
hate yourself, do
Yeah.
not know. What I would tell them is I would tell them in all honesty, go to the community college, take a business class, just so
There
you
you go.
understand basic business when
Yeah.
you're signing contracts and things like that.
Oh yeah. Well,
And then I would say just practice, 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 and get out there and do it. You
you
know,
gotta.
you can sit there and say, "Hey, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet."
You do it all
Bullshit.
day. You bullshit.
You
Yeah.
yeah, get up there, get on stage. The only way you're going to learn how to do it is to actually do it.
Yeah, and that's usually the hardest time is your first time, but once you get out there, it's not so bad. You can do it. All
No,
right,
it's addicting.
it is, and dreams come true. So believe in yourself. You can do it.
Absolutely.
You don't have to be like this person or that person. You're an individual. You're yourself, and that's what people want to see is you.
And that's what I would
Right?
say is find your voice. Find
There
your
you go.
voice.
This is
Because
the guy right here.
we already have a Bill Burr, we already have a Dave Chappelle, but
Yeah,
we don't
right.
have you. So make
That's
your
right.
voice count and have your own voice, period.
Exactly. And don't listen to all those naysayers behind you because I'm sure both of us have been this a long time. We've had a lot of people come up with us promise us the world and it's never happened. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, you your P's and Q's and get yourself a good entertainment law attorney.
Yeah. And also, the other thing is as you're starting out, get used to rejection because
Oh
there's going to
yeah,
be a
yeah.
lot of it.
Don't
But
take it
just
personally.
keep
No.
persevering and keep doing it. You know, if you believe in yourself and you got the talent, let your audience find you. That's what I
That's
had to
right.
do.
They will. They will too, definitely. And
Yep.
you got a hell of a following, brother. And like I said, Jill, thank you for the bottom of my heart for coming on. I want to do this again in 6 months or so and see where you're at. All right, brother?
Absolutely. Sounds good, man. I appreciate it.
Uh,
Thanks for having
uh,
me on.
Thanks for all right, brother. Tell everybody peace. We're out of here.
Peace.
Peace. We're out of here.